Tuscan Garlic Salmon is on the menu today. We're going to make this with this delicious salmon here. Got a pretty good price on it too. This was at Sam's. We're going to use some vegetable broth, but you can also use chicken broth if that's what you have. Some Parmesan cheese, some sun-dried tomatoes, some heavy whipping cream, some spinach, water and cornstarch, any seafood seasoning you have. I've become a fan of this surf and turf that I get from Sam's. Black pepper, garlic, and of course olive oil. Here's your shot of everything we're going to use to make this amazing dish. Let's get it cooking. Alright, on this fish we're going to put about a teaspoon of that seasoning, and we're going to put it on both sides. Okay? And you can also just get the fillets that are already cut up. But I just got this because I originally planned on doing something else. I just want you to see how I'm going to season it on one side, and then I'll season the other side off camera. Okay? So I'm going to do that on both sides, and I'll be back. Alright, I've got this pan already heating up. We're going to go in with a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to sear this on both sides. It's what we're going to do. So we're going to cook it for about 5 minutes total time. It doesn't take long. And this is a delicious dish. Once you try it, you're going to love it. And there we go. We're going to get all those pieces in there. And get it right there. Alright. So I'm going to give this 3 minutes on this side. And then another 3 minutes is probably what I'm going to give it on the other side. Alright. And we're going to let this baby cook. And we pretty much want to get it pretty close to done, because we're going to put it in a little mixture in a little bit. But we want it as close to done as we can get it, all right? So we're going to let this go for 3 minutes, and I'll come back. All right, I've already flipped, and as you can see, I broke a couple. But that's okay. It's not going to change my flavor. So I'm going to give this 3 more minutes, and as you can see how well it's browned on some of them. Yum, yum. So we're going to let this go for 3 minutes, then we're going to take it out. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Alright, I've taken that salmon out of there, and we're going to go in at this point with about 3 tablespoons of garlic. Okay? And we're going to let this get all sauteed up a little bit. Didn't mean to bump you. Saute it up a little bit in that leftover oil we got in that pan. We're not going to add any more oil. And we're just going to let this go for about a minute, okay? So I'm just going to let this cook up just for a minute, okay? And I'll be right back. 1 minute. Alright, that's been going for a minute. So we're going to go ahead and go in with this whole small container of this heavy whipping cream, okay? And this is a 16 ounce. And I'm going to go in with that whole thing. Drop the lid on the floor. I'm going to give this a nice little zhuzh, okay? Just give it a nice little zhuzh. Not necessary, but I'm going to do it. Then we're going to go in with about a half a cup of that broth. And like I told you before, you can use chicken broth on this as well. It'll work just fine. So about half a cup of that. And then we're going to go in with about a half a cup of our Parmesan cheese. And we're going to let it do what it do. And we're going to give this about 3 minutes, okay? Just let her go ahead and make sure you stir every minute. So we're going to give it 3 minutes, stirring every minute, okay? All right, and I'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, I put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in here. And I'm just going to go ahead, instead of using water, I'm just going to use my broth. And I'm going to put in a couple of tablespoons of the broth. And I'm just going to mix that really well. You can use water, but since I'm already using broth, why not, right? Just more flavor. And yes, we love flavor. And then I'm getting ready to add this to the pan. Okay? Make sure you mix it up really well. I'll be right back. All right, it's been 3 minutes. We're gonna go in with that cornstarch and water or the vegetable broth like I did. And we're gonna let this simmer. So I've been cooking this on a medium heat. We're gonna turn it down just a little bit, okay? And we're gonna let this simmer for about 2 minutes, okay? It's gonna thicken up on us. So every 30 seconds, give her a little stir, because as you can see, she's already trying to thicken up on me. All right. Yes, she is. All right, we're gonna give her 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, that only took a minute. And how I can tell, you see how I can get that space in between there like that? Almost like a roadway. She's ready. So we're gonna go ahead and put in our sun-dried tomatoes and our spinach, okay? Let's get that in there. I'm gonna put in, I would say, about half a cup of these sun-dried tomatoes. You know, however many you want to put in really is how it really works. So I would say about half a cup. You can put in this whole bag, and I'm gonna put in almost this whole bag. I'm not gonna use it all. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use it all. Might as well, right? I'm gonna give her a little zhuzh. See how well she's thickening up already? Now we just gotta get that spinach in there so she can wilt up a little bit for us. All right, let me grab that spinach, okay? I'll be right back. All right, you wanna put in at least a cup of spinach. Keeping in mind, you know how spinach works. She is gonna wilt down to pretty much nothing. So I'm gonna give this a nice little zhuzh. We just need her to wilt up, and then we're gonna put our salmon back in here, okay? So I'll give this a couple of minutes. Stir and get it on up in there so that all that heat can get on that spinach and wilt right on up for us. Look how delicious she's looking already. She is going to be amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to keep stirring this up for another minute. And she'll wilt up pretty quick because that heat and that little sauce we just made, you see that steam coming off of it? Yummo. So I'm going to give her a minute and I'll be back. All right, I've nestled that salmon on in there. I'm just going to kind of cover her up with some of this deliciousness that we've just created. Just going to kind of cover her up a little bit. Get some of that sauce. Let those flavors get to know one another. Let them become the best of friends. All right. So I'm going to let this sit here and simmer a little bit just for a couple of minutes. And dinner is served. Okay? So 2 minutes, I'll be back. And there she is. Things made easy with Gigi. All day, every day. Please like, subscribe, and feel free to share. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. You'll see Gigi on the next one. Take care, you guys.